Welcome back, everybody. This is Latin's Fight Picks. Today we will go over the UFC Vegas 90. Allen versus Curtis 2. Looks like a pretty good card. A lot of new faces. Going to be a lot of exciting fights. I'm looking forward to this card. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of really live dogs on this one. It's scary. But yeah, it's going to be a super interesting card. It could be a very profitable card if everything comes through. As usual, we'll start off with the prelims with the first fight, and we will move on to the main event. So let's start. All right, what's the first fight of the night? Nora Cornell versus Melissa Mullins. Norma Corral, 5'7", 67-inch reach, 7 wins, 1 loss, 34 years old. Melissa Mullins, 5'7", 68-inch reach, 6 wins, 0 losses, 32 years old. Cornell, she is a Muay Thai fighter, excellent striker, 34 years old. She's got a great gas tank. I remember betting on her against, a lower level opponent. I can't remember her name, from Panama. What was her name? Anyways, I picked her for the upset. It was a split decision. Nora got it. Some people think it's, it could have gone either way. It was so close. And I remember it going for Nora. It was in Paris. She is French. She might have gotten a little bit of favoritism, but it was a close fight. It was against a decent striker, really big, strong girl who actually couldn't strike with Nora, was getting touched up on the feet, and started taking Nora to the ground, which is where Nora's weak points are. But Nora did survive on the ground, did manage to get up, and when she did get up, she did enough damage to win. So we're expecting Nora to be working on her ground game because she is an excellent striker and her gas tank is good. So she showed a lot of knowledge about how to get up. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping in this situation at 34 years old, she doesn't have a lot of time. She's really working on her ground game because everyone's going to try to take this girl down because she's a good striker. Then you got Melissa Mullins. Melissa Mullins, she's very tough, very durable. She's an okay striker. If she's against a bad striker, she's probably going to win. She's probably going to win the exchanges, but against an excellent striker, which is probably UFC level strikers, she gets tagged up and touched up pretty easily. But she always manages to grind out and hold on and get a clinch and take these people to the ground. And when she gets them on the ground, she manages to get on top. And I mean, looking at her ground game, I don't know if she's that good or just the opportunities have been there for her. She's fought 6 fights. I bet against her in 2 fights in a row, and 2 fights in a row it's come to bite me in the butt because she seems to win. She fought the Russian who just was supposed to fight Gatto last week, and Zeleznikova or something like that. I can't remember her name. It's a really long name. So I might have it here actually. Hold on. Is it Dudakova? No, that's somebody else. Sorry. She fought the week before then. Yeah. Zeleznikova. And I remember watching that fight. This is just before the UFC. Both of them were still out of the UFC. It was in another fight league. And Zeleznikova was piecing her up really bad. The first 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, she was getting tagged up. She made like a mess of Mullins' face. And then they got into the clinch, and it looks like Zeleznikova was pretty comfortable in the clinch, and Mullins was having a really hard time. And it's just at the last second, it seems like she did a reverse trip where she was kind of pretending she was going to go one way, and Zeleznikova was defending it, and then she reversed her, and she fell on the ground. And it almost seemed like a very opportunistic takedown, very desperate looking takedown. But once Mullins got on top, Zeleznikova actually stayed pretty safe for the most of it until the last 30 seconds. And then she was really getting pounded on. And the ref stopped it with like 3 seconds left in the round. I mean, up to that point, Mullins was in trouble. And then she managed to get this takedown, which almost didn't happen. It was a very desperate looking takedown. And she was getting defended by Zalesnikova pretty good. And I really thought that, you know what, another 3 seconds, Lesnikova comes back. It was hard to tell what was going to happen in the second round. Maybe the same thing because of the pounding she was taking at the ground. But then again, Mullins was hurt as well up to that point. It just seemed a little lucky to me. Like, I'm not saying she's a bad grappler. I'm just saying it's very opportunistic. And then when she fought Russian Ronda knocked her on the ground. First, just almost, didn't KO her, but she stunned her. She knocked her on the ground. And then she came back up and Russian Ronda won the first round. By the end of the first round, Mullins had gotten a hold of Russian Ronda and got her to the ground. Russian Ronda was fighting back. Second round, Russian Ronda was gassed. And then she ended up beating Russian Ronda in a decision. But again, very hittable. I don't know. Like, when is she going to run into somebody who's going to hit her, knock her on the ground, have a good gas tank, and be able to follow up on it? This is my concern. Everyone's betting on Melissa Mullins. Melissa Mullins is a huge favorite. I'm gonna fade Melissa Mullins at some point, and I'm gonna start fading her now. So just because there's a huge dog shot at Cornell, I'm hoping Cornell's had decent takedown defense, a decent get-up game. Granted, Melissa Mullins is a little better than the girl that she fought. I can't remember her name again. Sorry. And I'm thinking that a little improvement from Cornell could be in a situation where Mullins is going to have a hard time taking Cornell down. Cornell just has to be a little smarter, a little better with the takedown defense. I think she's continuously improving. She's only started her mixed martial arts career recently. If she's shown any improvements, she could stay on the feet. I think she's going to touch up Mullins. I think she's got enough power, and she's a really good striker, Muay Thai striker. I think she can hurt Mullins. I mean, she can knock Mullins out. Mullins has been hurt multiple times. Yes, she's been durable. Yes, she's survived. How long is that going to go on for? Is this the level that she's going to get tagged up? At some point, she's going to move up and have a really good striker in front of her that has good takedown defense. And I think she's going to be taken out of there. She's undefeated. I'm going to go with Cornell. And this is a long shot. This is my least confident pick. I just don't like what I saw with Mullins. She's always getting touched up. She's always getting hurt on the feet. And she's always managing to get these girls on the ground, but it's never pretty. It's very desperate, very sloppy. I'm not seeing it. Everyone's like, she's great at takedowns. I just see very desperate, very sloppy, very opportunistic, borderline lucky. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, I'm not saying that she can't do this to Cornell. If she can take her down, then Cornell's going to be in trouble. I think Cornell... she's got a decent get-up game. It's definitely not good enough from what I saw last time. If it's a little better now, it's probably going to be good enough. Mullins is pretty good on mounting and stuff like that. She seems like she's pretty good at it. But I remember Russian Ronda fighting her, and Russian Ronda was just tired. And if Russian Ronda wasn't tired, had better technique, Russian Ronda almost reversed a couple of positions. So, I mean, it's one of those fights. I mean, it's easy to pick Mullins. I just have this feeling that she's going to get touched up. She might lose the decision. I'm going to go with Cornell. I don't know why. Very low confidence pick. Take it from there. Moving on. Dylan Budka versus Cesar Almeida. Dylan Budka, 6 feet tall, 75-inch reach, 7 wins, 2 losses, 24 years old. Cesar Almeida, 6'1", 74-inch reach, 4 wins, 0 losses, 36 years old. Cesar Almeida, very decorated kickboxer, very powerful, 36 years old. He is older, but he hasn't taken a lot of punishment in MMA. He's just starting. I saw him in the last fight. He actually fought a former champion who's got good striking and good underground. Cesar Almeida more than managed to handle himself on the ground and get back up. This guy's super dangerous. He's super powerful. Um, this guy can KO a lot of people. You know, I saw Dylan Butka's last fight, and there was a guy who was continually trying to take him down. It was a very lackluster fight. I don't think Butka's got good striking at all. He's just going to be a wrestler. He's got to come out. He's got to take Almeida down. If Almeida can stuff any of these takedowns, he's going to knock Butka out. A lot of people are going on Butka. He is the favorite. You know what? I saw in Cesar Almeida is a guy who's been working on his takedown defense and his get-up game, and he's a lot stronger than he looks. And that's exactly what I heard actually from Butka's guys picking Butka say, oh, this guy's a lot stronger than he looks. I saw Almeida fight a guy a lot taller than him, a lot better supposedly on the ground with him, and I saw him handle himself really well, very composed, seemed very, very sturdy. I'm going to pick Almeida. He is the underdog in this one. I think he's going to knock out Butka. That's what I'm seeing. So, Cesar Almeida is going to be the pick. It's going to be a good fight, let me tell you. I'm looking forward to see Almeida fight. I know after I saw him in that last fight, I see this guy's got some potential. Butka, man, I just wasn't impressed at all. Moving on, Dan Argueta versus John Matsumoto. Dan Argueta, 5'7", 68-inch reach, 9 wins, 1 loss, 30 years old. John Matsumoto, 5'6", 68.5-inch reach, 14 wins, 0 losses, 24 years old. I haven't been able to pick Dan Argueta right yet. So, you know, when I bet against him, he wins. When I bet on him, he loses. Looking at these styles of fights, I saw Dan Argueta. He got beaten by Johns. I really thought he could beat Johns. I don't have a high level of I just don't think very much of Johns. But Johns fought Argueta with a very smart fight. He's short, he's stocky, he's powerful. He was throwing looping punches to catch Argueta coming in. He was defending really well against Argueta. He is a wrestler himself. Argueta in that fight was relentlessly wrestling, but he was getting tagged by really stupid looking loopy shots, and I couldn't figure out how that was even happening. But anyways, he lost the decision. It was pretty clear, but Argueta is a non-stop wrestler. John Matsumoto is an excellent striker, excellent kicks, pretty good on the ground, but he does get taken to the ground. He gets taken to the ground, and I don't think he's got great takedown defense. I think he's got a good get-up game. But Argueta is the kind of guy that once he takes you down, he's on you, he's mauling you. I think John Matsumoto is going to fight at bantamweight. I think he's actually a little too small for bantamweight. I think he's going to be excellent. A lot of people are picking on him. He's a huge favorite. I don't think he's going to be able to stop Dan Argueta's takedowns. I think he'll be able to hit him a couple times, but Argueta's not going to stand there to get hit. He's going to go after him over and over again. In the last fight, I saw Argueta fight a wrestler. The wrestler wasn't even really wrestling him that much, and he wasn't relentlessly shooting takedowns like Argueta's going to do. And when he did shoot some takedowns, he actually got Matsumoto to the ground, wasn't able to control him for very long. But Argueta's going to do that 10 times. So I think Dan Argueta is going to win a greasy decision here. I think Matsumoto is going to survive. I think Matsumoto is going to get taken down. He's going to get back up, might land a couple shots. Argueta is going to take him down. It's going to take him like a minute to get back up. And I think Argueta is going to win this decision. I think Matsumoto is going to move down to 125. I think he's a little too small, which is why I'm picking Dan Argueta, because I think he's going to be very big, very powerful, and he's going to have a presence there. And I think Matsumoto is going to be a little too small. He's an excellent striker. He's a better striker than Argueta. He's good on the ground. I think he's going to be too small for Argueta, and Argueta is going to keep taking him down. He's going to win the decision. Argueta is going to be the pick. Low confidence. Moving on, Piera Rodriguez versus Cynthia Calvillo. Piera Rodriguez, 5'3", 63.5-inch reach, 31 years old. Cynthia Calvillo, 5'4", 64-inch reach, 36 years old. I picked Calvillo last time against Godinez. It was a close split decision. Thought she could have taken that as well. Piera Rodriguez, she's talented, she's a good striker, she's good on the ground, she's fairly durable, but I think she's too small. I think she's not gonna have the power to knock Calvillo out or be a danger. Calvillo's still got some power in her hands. She's a good wrestler. I don't think Pereira is gonna really take it to the ground. I think Calvillo is gonna take Rodriguez to the ground. I don't know how long she's gonna hold her there for, but between landing shots and taking Rodriguez to the ground and having those interactions, I think Calvillo is gonna win a decision here. She's gonna be the bigger girl, the more powerful girl. Um, Rodriguez, she is the favorite. Again, I'm going to pick another underdog here. I just don't see Rodriguez just hurting Calvillo. Maybe she might be a little faster, but I think Calvillo's still going to have a presence there. She's going to be the bigger girl in there. And Pierre Rodriguez has had problems with girls who are physically more imposing than her. And at 5'3", she's not a very big girl. I think Calvillo's going to win this. Everyone's expecting Calvillo to lose. I think she's very motivated. She's lost quite a few. She's 36 years old. She's at the peak of her career. I don't think she's getting any better. I don't know if she's getting any worse. But she used to be pretty good, like highly touted. And I don't think Rodriguez is all that. So I think this is a level that Calvillo can still beat. Calvillo's going to be the pick. Decent amount of confidence. Moving on. This fight got changed around quite a few times. Pedro Falco versus Victor Hugo. Pedro Falco at 5'6", 66-inch reach, 15 wins, 3 losses, 31 years old. Victor Hugo, 5'7", 71.5-inch reach, 24 wins, 4 losses, 31 years old. Both the same age, a lot more experience on the Victor Hugo side. I think Victor Hugo has a striking advantage. Falco is not a bad striker, but he's going to want to take this to the ground. He's a relentless attacker. I think Victor Hugo has seen this before. He's very confident, almost too confident, but maybe it's because he's that good. The last time he was fighting somebody, the person is a pretty good counter striker, but Victor Hugo was doing pretty decent on the feet, and he started taking Victor Hugo down, and Victor Hugo was defending pretty good, and in the end he ended up submitting him with a leg lock, which is a pretty common way he finishes fights. I think Pedro Falco, he took about 3 years off since 2021. I think he fought just recently in October, and now he's coming back into the UFC as a last minute substitute for Alateng Lee. I mean, I went back and forth. I think Falco does have a shot at it. He's going to be relentlessly going on the ground, but I think he's going to fight against Hugo, who's pretty good on the ground. And I mean, if it doesn't go on the ground, Victor Hugo is going to have a reach advantage. He's going to have a striking advantage. He's going to be able to hurt Falco on the feet. I think Falco's going to go for a bunch of takedowns, shakedowns. And I think Hugo's still pretty good on the ground. I don't know if Falco's really going to be able to do very much with it. He's going to take his back. Hugo is very tricky. The last guy he fought, same thing, and he ended up getting a leg lock, a knee bar. So yeah, Victor Hugo is going to be the pick. I think he's going to be a little too big for Falco, and he's just as slick on the ground as he is. He's a better striker. Yeah, I mean, apart from something that I'm not seeing in the grappling, I think Hugo's going to win this any which way. Moving on. Norma Dumont versus Germaine Durandamy. Norma Dumont, 5'7", 67-inch reach, 10 wins, 2 losses, 33 years old. Germaine Durandamy, 5'9", 71-inch reach, 10 wins, 4 losses, 39 years old. I mean, you wonder why Germaine Durandamy stopped. I mean, the only girl she lost to was the long reigning champ against Nunes. She lost against her twice. The second time she did better at defending the ground game kind of thing. She did learn a few more things. She ended up submitting Juliana Pena. She dominated her in the first round, hurt her, then Pena came out and just relentlessly wrestled her. And Pena was probably on her way to getting a 29-28 decision, and then Germaine caught her in a choke and choked her out. To her credit, because that's something that she's always been weak on. 39 years old, we don't know what she's going to look like now. She's taken 4 years off. She's had a kid. But Norma Dumont, she's good. She's very durable. that doesn't mean she can't get hurt. She did get knocked out in the first fight against a tall, lanky girl with a lot of reach. Kind of like Jermaine, even taller, but about the same amount of reach. She's very durable. She's good on the ground. I don't think she's stellar. She's definitely not. She's not going to be the 135 champ. Jermaine has beaten everybody in 135. If the same Jermaine comes back, Jermaine can knock Dumont out because Dumont's very durable. She takes a lot of punishment to move into the pocket. She returns it. And I think Jermaine's going to have pretty good takedown defense. And I think she can get back up. She's going to be the bigger girl in there. Taller anyway. Dumont's fairly heavy. But it's going to be, I think, at a catch weight of 140? I think they're doing a catch weight because Dumont was fighting at 145. Now she's moving down. Jermaine should be at 135. Yeah, you know what? I went back and forth on this one. I was going to pick Dumont. And then the more I thought about it, the more I realized, I mean, Jermaine's still super dangerous. And Dumont is not indestructible. That's for sure. So even if Jermaine slowed down a little bit, I think she's better than most of the girls that are fighting right now. I don't know what she's going to look like at 39. I'm expecting her to be a little slower. Jermaine is going to be the pick. You know, low degree of confidence just because we haven't seen her in a while. But, I mean, you know, you put Nunes and Jermaine Randami with these girls. I mean, at their prime, they can probably beat anybody in 135, you know, realistically. So Jermaine Randami is going to be the pick. She's a pretty big underdog. Depends when you got her. She's a decent underdog now, but she was a huge underdog when I got her earlier on in the week. Yeah, Randami. Let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Hopefully she comes in and she wins. I mean, that'd be nice to see. Especially because I'm betting on her. But moving on. Court McGee versus Alex Morona. Court McGee, 5'11", 75-inch reach, 22 wins, 12 losses, 39 years old. Alex Morona, 5'11", 72-inch reach, 3 wins, 9 losses, 33 years old. Again, another 39-year-old. But Court McGee has been getting tagged up and knocked out. But the guys he's been getting knocked out to have been power punchers. And that's not Morona. Morona's not a power puncher. He's a volume puncher. He's fast. McGee, you know, he's very durable. He's got a decent jab. But I think he's at the point where he's gonna lose against these guys now. Morona doesn't have that KO power. I think he's gonna go down to a decision. Morono's good on the ground. McGee likes taking people to the ground. I think if you took Morona down, I think he can get back up. He's also dangerous on the ground. I don't think it's going to happen. They're about the same height. Morono's going to have a little bit of a reach disadvantage, but at the same time, Morono has got a lot of movement in and out. You know, apart from getting caught sometimes some massive shot from McGee, which I'm not sure he's going to be able to do because Morono can be a little chinny on top of that. I mean, to be honest with you, I actually went for the dog shot. I was going to go for McGee, but after thinking about it and looking at the fight and figuring how it's going to play out, I think Morono's going to keep it on the feet. It's going to win the decision. It's going to go the full 3 rounds, and no one's going to get knocked out. If anything, I think Morono can get knocked out just because it's chinny, and McGee sometimes has some pretty good timing. I don't think he's going to have the speed. And at 39 years old, I think he's getting a little slower, not as durable. Morono, you know, he's durable-ish, right? So Alex Morono is going to be the pick. I think he's going to win a decision here. McGee is fighting a guy who's not going to knock him out, which is a good thing because he's been knocked out twice in a row. I'm sure that's not good when you're 39. But it's going to be a competitive fight, but I think Morono is going to win the decision. Decent amount of confidence. Moving on to the main card. Let's turn this off here. First fight in the main card, Trevor Peek versus Charlie Campbell. Trevor Peek, 5'9", 70-inch reach. 9 wins, 1 loss, 29 years old. Charlie Campbell, 6 feet tall, 72.5-inch reach. 8 wins, 2 losses, 28 years old. Everybody is on Charlie Campbell. I mean, he was a huge favorite. He's thoroughly starting to go down. He was like minus 225. I think he's down to minus 180. You know, I mean, he's an excellent striker. Very clean. Very good striking, but I mean, we've seen this guy get knocked out. So I don't know how durable he is. And he's fighting against a guy who's going to take a lot of shots to give a shot. And he's very durable, can last, and he's got some power. Can he hit Charlie Campbell? He's going to be fast enough to hit Charlie Campbell. I mean, Trevor Peek has shown that he's very durable and he'll take one to give one. So he's going to be 3 inches shorter. It's going to have a reach disadvantage. I've bet on Trevor Peek in all the fights except for against Mariscal, Chepe. And so I've pretty much got him right every single time. I'm betting on Trevor Peek again because this Charlie Campbell guy, I mean, he seems a little chinny to me. I think he's going to have a hard time against these really durable guys that can take his nice shots and then return it, as he's coming in, get caught with a big shot. And that's what happened with Duncan. He had Duncan on skates. Duncan was on the ground. I think he knocked him down at least once, maybe twice. And Duncan came back, landed a straight right, and KO'd this guy, flatlined him. I could see a lot of this playing out the same way with Peak. Not super high degree, not super confident in this, but better than low confidence. I like Peak. I think he's going to come in, he's going to grind this out, he's going to throw a lot of punches, going to absorb a lot of punishment. And I think Campbell, he's going to be there in the second and the third round. I think it's going to start to affect Campbell. Trevor Peek. I could see him winning this by decision or KO. Trevor Peek's going to be the pick. Another underdog. You'll see the board. Next fight, Walter Wacker. Sounds very German. Walter. But it's actually the brother of Johnny Walker, which is not their real name, I guess. So, versus Lucas Brzezinski. Walter Wacker, 6'6", 81-inch reach, 11 wins, 0 losses, 26 years old. Lucas Brzezinski, 6'4", 78-inch reach, 8 wins, 4 losses, 31 years old. I was looking for every reason not to bet on this Walker guy. Look, and I was gonna, thinking it could be 50-50. Lucas can maybe, grind this out, maybe get him tired and land a few shots. But this Walter Walker, he seems like he's got an okay gas tank. I don't think his gas tank's any worse than Brzezinski's. Brzezinski does have a problem with being taken down. Brzezinski does keep getting back up. He does keep getting fight. He's an okay striker, but he's going to have a disadvantage in reach. And you got this humongous man who's going to try to take him down, and he's got pretty good takedowns, and it's just going to be hard to stop. When this guy starts going towards you to grab you, to take you down, I don't know how you're going to stop him, and I don't think Lucas is big enough to do that. They're setting this up for Walker to come in and win. He's a big guy. He's going to be great for the heavyweight division. He's going to be entertaining. He's got some decent durability. He's got good gas, and he can take people down. I mean, that's great for the heavyweights because heavyweights can get taken down. So I went back and forth on this one. The more I thought about it, they're like, I can't see Walker losing this fight. So he's going to be a high confidence pick just because he's going to be so big and he's going to grab a hold of Brzezinski. He's going to take him down. If you watched his regional scenes, that's what he does. He grabs you, takes you down. I mean, he can still throw punches, and he's got a good gas tank. So, I mean, I don't see Brzezinski winning anywhere. And maybe he might land a couple shots. I don't think he's going to land a KO shot. Walker's going to be the pick. It's going to be entertaining to watch this because, I mean, now he's at the UFC level. Let's just see how far this guy can go. But he's huge, right? 6'6". He's a monster in there. With takedowns. So, moving on. Ignacio Bahamondes, Christos Giagos. Ignacio Bahamondes, 6'3", 75.5-inch reach, 14 wins, 5 losses, 26 years old. Christos Giagos, 5'10", 71.5-inch reach, 20 wins, 11 losses, 34 years old. Christos Giagos still at the peak of his abilities. He's 34 years old. He's not too old. Ignacio Bahamondes is getting better. He definitely got exposed a little bit with Klein last time. And but Klein's just the kind of guy, man. He's shorter, but he's durable. He's a good wrestler. He's fast. He's very cerebral in there. He's got a good game plan, and he just beat the crap out of Bahamondes. But Christos Giagos, this guy's first round or bust. I think, well, actually, he's still dangerous. He carries his power through. But first round is going to be really dangerous, throwing bombs, but he's going to be at a severe disadvantage. I think Bahamondes is fairly durable. He's just got to stay away from him and just kind of piece him up from the outside, which is what he normally does. Christos Giagos is always dangerous. He's always has a puncher's chance. Yeah, but I just can't go with him. I just don't think he's in the right trajectory. I think Bahamondes did lose one. He's going to be a lot more careful with these guys. And I don't think Giagos brings the same things to the table that Klein did. So he is dangerous. Bahamondes has got to be careful, but he fights long. He's very smart about that. So I think he's going to have a good game plan and is going to be able to piece up Giagos from the outside, maybe even catch him with a guillotine choke coming in. Kind of like, what's that guy? What's the other Mexican guy? He's 6'1". Just beat Giagos a little while ago. What was his name? Zellhuber. So I see a lot of things playing out very similarly. And I think Bahamondes fights longer, even better than Zellhuber, just because Zellhuber is a little careless when he comes in like that. And I think Bahamondes is not as careless. So I think Bahamondes is going to win this. I think he's going to win a decision. It's going to piece him up from the outside. I don't see him finishing him unless it's like a submission. But I think it's just going to be a decision win for Bahamondes. High degree of confidence. Moving on, Morgan Charrier versus Chepe Mariscal. Morgan Charrier, 5'8", 69 inch reach, 19 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw, 28 years old. Chepe Mariscal, 5'7", 69 inch reach, 15 wins, 6 losses, 31 years old. These guys are both at the peak of their abilities. Morgan Charrier is very dangerous. He's fought, he just got into the UFC, but he's fought in other promotions that he's done really well in. And not to say anything bad about it. Most people are picking Charrier to win because he's got good takedown defense. He's got good striking from the outside. There are certain things that are just intangibles, and Chepe Mariscal has got the intangibles. I've been betting on Chepe ever since he got to the UFC, and he has been winning every fight. I am not going to change now. Now, I know Charrier is dangerous, and Charrier should win this decision, and Chepe supposedly can take him down and everything else. But Chepe is going to make this ugly, and he's fought more UFC level competition than Charrier. Chepe has managed to win and beat guys that nobody expected him to beat. I've been betting on him as an underdog nonstop. He is an underdog again. I'm not going to get off this horse. This horse, I'm going to keep riding this horse till it stops. I just like Chepe's Mariscal. He's fought better competition. He's relentless. He's durable. He's a good striker. He's a good grappler. He makes it dirty, and he just finds a way to win. I like watching this guy fight. I can't stop cheering for him. I have to bet on this guy. Morgan Charrier is a little cleaner, a little from the outside. He's got good takedown defense. I don't think he's as good on the ground. Yeah, I think it's going to be gritty. I think it's going to be ugly, and I think Mariscal is going to find a way to win. And for some reason, most people are picking Charrier. Very few people are picking Chepe. This guy here is picking Chepe. I could look like a genius, or it'll look really. I don't want to say the S word. I'm gonna look pretty stupid, but yeah, I like Mariscal. I've been betting on him, and every time I bet on him, people say there's no way he's gonna win, and he wins. So take it from there. I'm gonna bet on Mariscal, and everyone's saying he's gonna lose, and this is gonna be the third time he's an underdog, and the third time he's gonna win. 3 times a charm. Moving on, Alexander Hernandez versus Damon Jackson. Alexander Hernandez, 5'9", 72 inch reach, 14 wins, 7 losses, 0 draws, 31 years old. Damon Jackson, 5'11", 71 inch reach, 22 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 35 years old. Alex Hernandez, I've been fading him for a while. Although last time I faded him, he ended up beating what's his name? What's his name? The veteran. His name is eluding me. Uh, it's not. It's not brown. Um, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to look. It's bothering me. What's his name? Let's see. Jim Miller. Yeah, there you go. Unanimous decision. He lost against Bill Algeo. Unanimous decision. And he lost against Billy Carantillo, unanimous TKO punches. And you know what? Damon Jackson lost to Carantillo. But you know what? Guess what? Damon Jackson was doing really well against Carantillo until he wasn't, because Carantillo just basically wore on him and wore on him and wore on him. And I don't think that's going to happen here. A lot of people are picking Alexander Hernandez. I tell you what, most of the people, 90% of the people, Alexander Hernandez. I think that Damon Jackson can pull this off. I think he's going to be taller. He's going to have a reach advantage. I think that Alexander Hernandez is going to have the power advantage. I think he's going to be very dangerous in the first round. He has shown now that he can go the full 3 rounds. It seems like his cardio is holding up a little better. And I think the cardio might not be an issue, but I think as things get closer and they get closer, I think Damon Jackson's still going to have an advantage on the ground. I think Damon Jackson can take him to the ground. He's always very slick on the ground. He's only lost against the top level guys. Hernandez has lost randomly. He's not as consistent as Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson is 35 years old. I don't think he's slowing down. I think he's still at his peak. Although, you're going to start to see signs of him slowing down. I think Damon Jackson is going to surprise a lot of people and win this decision against Hernandez. He just got to be careful in the first round. And I think if he gets a hold of Hernandez, he's just like an octopus, and I think he's going to be able to be better on the ground than Hernandez and win some rounds and win some close rounds against Hernandez. Hernandez, everyone's picking him because he's dangerous. I don't know. Damon Jackson does have some power as well. Hernandez might be a little faster, but I think when it gets in the clinch, and I think Jackson's going to be the guy who's going to be able to control that. Not a popular pick. It's a big underdog. I'm going with Damon Jackson. Low level confidence. Moving on to main event. Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis. Brendan Allen, 6'2", 75-inch reach, 25 wins, 5 losses, 28 years old. Chris Curtis, 5'10", 75.5-inch reach, 31 wins, 10 losses, 36 years old. Chris Curtis is not slowing down. He's at his peak. He's 36 years old. We've seen this guy fight over and over again. Nothing's going to change. He's going to have this high guard. He's going to land counter shots. He's got great takedown defense. That's how he fought Brendan Allen in the first one. It's how he's going to fight him in this one. Brendan Allen has lost that fight, and ever since then he's come back. He's won a lot of fights. He's won fights via strikes. He's won fights via submissions. So there's guys he's out-grappled on the ground that are really high-level grapplers, and there's guys he's outstruck as well. But the guys he outstruck are questionable. Even though he's on this recent run, I don't see this fight playing out that much differently than the first one. When I first looked at this, I wanted to go with Allen, but when I saw the level of competition he's been beating at striking, and the level of competition of grapplers she's been beating at grappling has been high, but you got to get Curtis to the ground for that to happen. And Curtis was taken to the ground by what's his name? The Russian guy from France. It's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. What's his name? Gotta do it again. I'll do it again. Okay, Chris Curtis. Here we go. FC stats. Imavov, Nazardine Imavov. So I mean, I looked at that fight and I saw total dominance by Nasruddin Imavov, and he did take him down 3 times. But, Chris Curtis was fighting back. And Imavov is a different kind of guy. Just the way he takes you down, he's striking with you, kicking you, and then he kind of takes you down. He's just a lot more he has a lot more physical presence. He's a lot more powerful than Brendan Allen. I don't think Brendan Allen is more powerful than he was when he first fought Curtis. And I thought Curtis did fine with his, defense. And I think it's going to be the same way now. I don't see him. I see Brendan Allen throwing more strikes, but if anything, I think he's more susceptible to get knocked out if he keeps doing this. Because Chris Curtis is the same counter striker that he fought last time, and he could still hurt him. I think Brendan Allen's not going to keep it on the feet. I think he wants to take it to the ground. I think he got knocked out last time. He's going to be trying to take Curtis down, and Curtis is going to continually try to stay up. And if he stays up, he's going to win. Because when he stay on the feet, when they're at distance, he's going to be able to land a few shots on Allen. It's going to be a close fight. Curtis has a chance for the KO, yes. Does Allen have a chance for the submission? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to submit him. Does he have a chance to maybe take him down and maybe hold him up against the fence and get his back and kind of get some control time and win some decisions? Maybe. But given a chance where it's a 50-50 chance, I'm just going to go for the dog shot on this one. Curtis already beat him one time. Yeah, I mean, it's a 5-round fight. This is a long fight and I think Curtis, they both got good stamina. I'm going to go with Curtis again. I don't see it playing out that much different. I don't see Brendan Allen being that much better. So, even though did I bet on Allen last time? I think I did. Yeah, I mean, on the feet, I don't see Allen with these huge improvements. Who did he beat? Silva? I mean, Silva just lost to Weidman, 39-year-old Weidman. So